All right, we'll call the meeting to order. And the first order of business is Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business is the approval of the agenda. And the only change that I'm going to make a change to my own agenda, I guess, is that we did have a marketing committee meeting. I failed to put that on the agenda here for an update. I'll probably just do that update during the director's update. That's all right with everybody. Other than that, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda
As
Second.
as is.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Item.
Who seconded it, Linda or Steve?
I did.
Linda.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next order of business is to approve the minutes from February 4th. Chris, you want to make your request?
Yeah, I sent them out late last night, so I understand if nobody's had a chance to review them. And that's fine. Only thing I wrote these off notes that I took. I didn't go back and watch the live stream, just kind of, dot the I's, cross the T's kind of thing. So, I mean, if we want to wait to the next meeting, I just want to make sure they're top notch.
Right.
If that's okay.
Nice and concise, I noticed
Well,
Yeah.
there's 4 pages is a lot, but it might get more if I want.
that. But no,
I do like concise. Yeah.
But-
I meant it. It's
Yeah.
not a lot of.
Yeah, I know. I know. The only thing I haven't reached out to Cindy with a why, and maybe Barry, you may have this. Do we have like what I call an official minute book? Like where, you just kind of they go in order like the city. Where we have a book that every time the minutes are done, they go in this. They're more of an official like ledger looking one. I mean, a 3-ring binder would be fine for this. That would pass down from secretary or president, whoever to who. If not, I can start to create one.
If we don't, we need one.
I think we do
I
too.
agree. So let me reach out to Cindy with a why
Okay.
and see if she has such a thing, and if not, we'll start one.
I mean, I can go start forwards and go backwards so much too.
I know we have electronic versions of
Mhm.
all of them, so.
Yeah.
I gave Eric a binder, it's black, and I always call it the Bible that has our e-tears and tear sheets along with the invoices, and that's kind of where I kept previous minutes. So, I mean, that would all be together for you, then, some of the board asks you to bring in the binder or whatever, it's ready to go.
And I'm sure Cindy with the Y has past minutes, because she
Oh, yeah.
kept pretty good files on
Oh, I'm
it.
sure she's got them. I just
Yeah.
didn't know if there was a.
If we had, they
It
got
wouldn't
passed
have-
on.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We should get our hands.
Now that this is a commission, I'm gonna have to ask Chris Hammock, do these need to be uploaded to Gateway somehow? I've never done it, but we're just in a different wheelhouse than we were before. If there's a nonprofit before, we'd have to do that kind of stuff. Now that this is more we'll call it the government side, I just don't want to mess that up.
Okay.
So I'll find that out too, because I don't want to get anybody in trouble and that's that problem.
So I believe, as far as minutes for February are concerned, is it your wish that we hold off on approving those till next meeting?
The March ones, yeah.
So is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, we can table it.
Or table it till next meeting? Can I get a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion that we table it till the
I'll
next
second
meeting.
it.
And Brad,
Hmm?
seconds. All in favor of tabling minutes from February to May?
Maybe, yeah.
These are
Aye.
March.
Aye.
All right. These are March
March ones. I
ones.
think you might say favorite.
They are. I had a misprint on my agenda. Thanks for pointing that out, Steve. I appreciate that. March minutes to May. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving right along. We have a new board member joining us today. John was appointed at this week's commissioners meeting. So Maybe what we can do is start off is just go around the table and we'll introduce ourselves to you, and then we'll give you a minute to introduce yourself.
I'm Eric Treader. I'm the director and everything, and I'm still year end, learning a lot. So I look forward to chatting with you, getting to know you and whatnot, and yeah, picking your brains. So
Yeah, so Eric's the executive director. He's a non-voting member of our organization here, so.
Say
He's a-
again?
He's also an independent contractor.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I'm Chris Kell, Mayor of Tell City. I've been on the CVB board for quite a while now. I'm not the old dog yet, so that's the good news. Well, she's over there. So, but I know I can say that I get by with it. She still likes me most days. But tourism is very important to me. I think I serve on the Tell City Historical Society, Schweitzer Fest, and so forth, and have several businesses here in the community. You know, some even relate to tourism in some ways, but. I love tourism. I've been to a lot of the ITA, which is our tourism conferences. Linda and I and Eric just got back from one about a month ago-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And we learned a lot of good things. It's a really, really good group, so I think you'll enjoy it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to help answer them.
I'm Barry Stiles, and I'm just a simple shopkeeper. I own a little business out in Derby, and been a member of this board for a year and a half or so, I think. Was elected president of this board in January. Love Perry County. Think Perry County has just an absolute plethora of things to offer to everyone, and excited about what we got going on this year.
Hi, I'm the antique of the group.
There you go. That's a nice
Many
turn.
years. I'm retired, been retired now for going on 9 years. Love retirement. I too love the community. I'm originally from Evansville. Had many opportunities to move back, but I chose to stay here. I really love the community. I love tourism. I love what it does for the community. I think it helps keep all businesses afloat. And we welcome you.
I'm Brad Harth, also retired, used to be a pharmacist in town, as many of you know. I'm a member of the county council and kind of see my role here as being a bit of a liaison to the county council for as much as I can.
Up to me.
Up to you.
Steve Stenway, live in Derby, Indiana. I'm a cabin owner, also have a boat storage facility there in Derby. I'm from Du Bois County originally. Matter of fact, this year it'll be 20 years since I've been living in Perry County. And been past president of the Visitor Bureau. And I'm a firm believer in Perry County. I think it's a beautiful county. It's a recreation county. And we have a lot to offer to bring people within and to the county as well. So I don't know, it's third or fourth year I've been on the board now. So.
I'm Cindy Taylor with an I. There are two of us. The other Cindy just resigned from the board. I came to the group with over 40 years of PR and marketing experience, and my primary focus the last 2 years of my profession was digital marketing. So when I'm not doing this kind of stuff, I hang out at the coroner's department. So
Okay. John, the floor is yours.
Mine. And I'm John One-Heinen, not a lifelong resident of Perry County, but I was born in Zionsville. After 2 weeks, I with my dad and my mom and my sisters, and my brother moved to Tell City. So close enough to a lifelong resident. Graduated from Tell City High School in 1976, then graduated from Indiana University. Got into sales, moved to Kansas City, Joplin, Missouri, and then back to the Evansville, Newburgh area. Actually lived there until about 3 years ago and then moved back to Perry County. Spent a lot of time back in Perry County. Some people here I recognize, and they probably saw me even when I lived out west. I still came back here a lot. Like Barry said, there's a lot to offer in Perry County, and we really enjoyed coming back here.
Can I ask you a question? How do you spell your last name?
WANHAINEN.
Okay, thank you.
Don't look at it.
It's a good.
Don't look at it.
I know, that's why I was looking at you, you said, I'm gonna look at you, because I try to look at it and type it, it's not gonna go well.
It's a Finnish name. Most people think it's German, but it's Finnish.
I would have said German too, so that's interesting, all right.
It's Finnish.
Well, very good.
It's good to be here.
Welcome to the board, John. Just to sum everything up, we've got a lot of things going on. We've made a lot of progress in terms of marketing the county. We have a marketing firm here today to give us an update on some of their efforts. And so we're excited to keep it going. So, all right. Moving ahead on the agenda, we've got a digital marketing update from Two Ladders, and we have Caleb and Jenna here from Two Ladders. So the floor is yours, folks.
I'm gonna go around and pass out, we have a presentation, but we didn't know if we had a place to plug in our computers, so we printed them out for you.
Oh, shoot. Wish I knew that. Hey, Chris,
Hey, what?
do you have your phone with you?
Yeah.
Would you check your text, please?
Yeah. Put that on silent. I think you should. Leave it here.
Thank you.
Over here, let that quack. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, it is actually now. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, and yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Barry just reminds me of work.
I know. I didn't tell you that part.
In sales, we see those a lot.
Yeah. But you're
Morning,
usually on that side.
That's exactly right.
Good morning.
So we'll start with a couple introductions since we do have some new people here. My name's Jenna Foyle. I was born and raised in Perry County. I went off to college for a little bit, moved to Florida, lived there for a couple years, and ultimately ended up moving back home. So this is where I plan on staying. And I started working for Two Ladders. When I was in high school, I was one of Two Ladders' very first interns. And I say all that just to know that the marketing company that you guys hired is right here in Perry County. And I think that's important. So wanted to start off with that.
My name is Caleb Dosh. Not a Tell City resident, but I am from Du Bois County, living in Jasper, Indiana. But I love Southern Indiana as a whole, so love Perry County as well. I went off to college as well, like Jenna did. I went to Indiana State, studied economics, and then ended up moving back to Du Bois County. And then ended up joining Two Ladders in, it would have been fall of 2021, so going on 5 years now. And I worked there as a strategist, so really the arm behind all the targeting and all the actual ad buying, behind the ads on, Facebook or Indeed or any of the platforms we may run an ad on.
So Caleb and I work together with Eric on a weekly basis to kind of plan and go through all of the marketing that we're doing for you all. And today in this presentation, we'll kind of go through just an overview of what we've done so far and also what you can anticipate moving forward.
And I just want to thank these guys for coming in here because you guys have these questions and I'm like, I don't know. We're talking about this stuff, as far as like target audiences and this and that and geo targeting. And then these guys brilliantly translate it to me and then I come back and don't know how to explain it to you. So thank you guys for being here.
Well, thank you, Eric. You've been a great help. So.
Perfect. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll kind of go through that project timeline there, the first thing. So as most of you all know, we got the business awarded to us on February 4th of this year. So we didn't quite start with the first of the year. We'll kind of talk about that moving forward once we get through like our monthly objectives. We'll kind of talk about that and talk about how like the budget, if it renews, when it would renew in January of next year, we would kind of have that a little bit of overlap so we can talk about what we would do with that. And then shortly after we were awarded the business, Eric reached out to us and we immediately set up our first meeting. And as we do with all of our clients, we call this an onboarding meeting. We probably spent 2 hours at least together, just going through and making sure that Eric felt comfortable with what we were going to be doing moving forward. As most of you know, the biggest part of this project has been the new website. We did not build the website. As you know, Mary Boland built the website, but we have been working in conjunction with her to monetize some ads that are being put out so that people know about this new website.
Mhm.
And we've also been able to do some Google tracking that you'll see here later in the recording.
Yep.
We did have a little bit of trouble in the beginning, and we'll talk through this about the Facebook page access. The way that has worked in the past is that has been owned by the Perry County Visitors Bureau page has been owned by an individual entity. And most of the time when you have a business or a group page or a nonprofit, that shouldn't be set up that way. So we will talk through how we are going to mitigate that moving
Fix it.
forward and fix it. And then I think this is just a good date to have in your mind. Our first ads launched on March 5th of this year. So we'll be talking about the reporting from that date moving forward.
And then on the Facebook page access, so I know we've kind of hinted a little bit at it already. But right now, Chris Kale and Eric Tretter, they both have full admin access to the PCCVB Facebook page. Jenna and myself, we have partial control. So the ability to run ads, post on the page, view analytics, manage comments, but we do not have the ability to, delete the page or make any sweeping changes to the page, just partial access. So we are able to run ads and post.
How many times a week are you gonna post?
Well, a lot of what,
Twice?
Yeah, we'll get to this on the
Yeah.
very next page.
yeah, next page we talk about that.
But we are responsible for the ads, meaning anything that has money put behind them, that is what Two Ladders is responsible for. That's what was contracted in our original contract.
Yeah.
We are working with Eric on organic content. So the two differences is ads and organic content.
Mhm.
And we'll kind of walk through that on the next page, Cindy.
Yeah, and our ads will get posted to the page depending on the content that we're creating. We want to make sure that if our ads are going to get published to the page, that it's relevant to the page followers, right? Because not every single ad that you ever do is always going to be relevant to the people that are on the page, because you may be targeting much farther away from Perry County for whatever reason, right? And so that's always something to keep in mind, but we typically will be doing about 2 ads a month. And so if both of those are relevant, then both of those will get posted on the page. So about 2 a month potentially. So going on to the Facebook page. And so the current Facebook page owner, I don't know exactly, we don't know exactly who it may be. We know that it is owned by an individual person. We thought it may be Betty Cash, but we went into Betty Cash's business manager a couple months ago in February, and the page wasn't in there for us to transfer ownership. So
And Facebook doesn't tell us.
It
It
doesn't
just
tell
says
us.
individual,
it
owned by
just
an
says
individual.
And that was
individual
with Betty's
people.
permission, by the way.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we asked Betty if we could do that. And so my thought is, based on my knowledge, is if we can create, so I think we talked about this here. The solution is to create a PCCVB Facebook or Meta business manager. Once we create a PCCV business manager and we add Chris and Eric to those business managers, we think that it should then automatically transfer the ownership of that page to your guys' business manager. Because again, based on my previous knowledge, anytime a page is owned by an individual person and that page is then transferred into a business manager, it will automatically prioritize that business manager, because Facebook doesn't like pages being owned by individual people, because you can run into situations like we have now where we don't know who the individual owner is.
And
Do you
when
have a question?
management changes.
Well, I have a comment. more
Yeah.
than- Yeah, I guess I do have a question. You guys have been on the board for a long time. Do you recall, probably when we launched the Facebook
That's probably what
page,
happened.
you were here. Do you know who could have been the owner of that Facebook page?
Bev Minto probably would have been, but I think when Facebook was so new then, I don't think any of us really knew what Facebook, of course, when Facebook was founded and this whole business rose and all that all changed as Facebook grew.
Yeah.
And continues to change.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've seen it where it actually does say Betty Cash, like this little pink icon, I swear, and I'm like, it's weird.
I
know.
asked you a question for this reason. Is it easier to fix this? Is it easier to do, Caleb, what you suggested? Or would it be is it prudent for us to maybe come up with a list of people that could possibly be the owner that you could check? I don't, that's,
I think
I don't
that's
want
an
to create more
option,
problems than we have.
Yeah, it is an option.
But I think we would go this route.
I think this
Okay.
option's easier.
Yeah, I would still recommend the business manager because in the future, then, as you want to add people to the page as admins, it's a lot easier. You don't have to add them as a personal admin, so like
They did for us.
like you did to us, you had to add us as personal admins. In the future, if you had a business manager, you could just add the 2 ladders with partial access, the 2 ladders business manager, which
Makes
makes things
sense.
a little bit easier.
Makes
And it would
sense.
help as board members come and go, directors come and go,
Exactly.
whatever. Now I'm talking, Facebook's not going away. So you're talking 10, 20, 30 years down the road, all this will change, and I don't want us to lose
Yeah, it
something.
needs to be fixed.
If somebody could leave on bad terms, they could just goodbye and delete it all. And that would be horrible.
Exactly.
I mean, I've seen it happen.
Yeah. And so our plan is we're going to be meeting with Eric later today. We were going to go ahead and create that business manager together. And then also, so going into the next bullet point then on the Instagram side. So this was another bit of a conundrum. So the Instagram page that was connected to the Facebook page, it looked like it was Betty Cash's personal page. It said PCCVIN, I think it maybe said,
Yeah, but
but she was using it as her personal page.
like the actual posts that had already been posted. to the
Yeah,
page.
yeah. And so what we did with Eric last week was we disconnected that page. We're still able to run ads on Instagram, but we're using the Facebook page that's already there. But we would still recommend creating an Instagram page so you have that place to promote and to post and to get some additional new followers and people interested. And so that's also something we're going to do in conjunction with Eric later today as well. To create that business manager. Hopefully that will then transfer the ownership of the Facebook page to that business manager. And then we'll also create that Instagram account and then connect it to that Facebook page. So
So that one business manager you're going to create will act as both Facebook and Instagram, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I'll
You
have
want
that.
2, you always have one.
Right.
yeah,
But because Facebook, Instagram are
And
friends.
you two will
Yeah.
be the 2 that have the admin access to that.
I
yeah.
don't know much about Instagram. I have accounts. I haven't logged in probably a year on my
Well,
own.
and the good part about it is, Chris, is it's just a dashboard, like a website that you'll go to, and you can
Mm-hmm.
access both Facebook and Instagram
From
in the
that
same
same
place.
place.
I think I've done that before, but probably didn't know what I
We'll
was
show
doing.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good deal.
I know it's a little bit confusing. It took us a little while to get our arms wrapped around it. But I think as we create these new properties for you guys, it will help solve some of the issues that we've been having with it.
I have a real quick question, if you don't mind. So I know you're on Facebook and Instagram, and you may talk about it later in here. If you do, just tell me to stop. What about TikTok? Is that later on in this presentation, or is that now a good time to just ask that?
It's a good time to ask.
So if we want to, while you're setting up the Instagram and the business manager, can you help us set up is there like a business admin TikTok account, or is it just still?
Yeah, there is. It's a little bit more, what's the term for it? It's not quite as built out as like the Meta side or like Facebook and Instagram, because TikTok's obviously newer than those platforms. But we do use it for a few of our accounts.
The easiest way to explain it, Chris, is the difference between TikTok and Facebook and Instagram is with TikTok, you don't necessarily have to have a TikTok profile to post ads.
Okay.
So we wouldn't necessarily need to create an account. We would just create that business manager page.
I just know if we could have a normal account and then like
And we
your
can do
own.
that too.
Yeah, you can have a page
Because I
as well.
think Eric's getting really good at pictures and he's reading some little video stuff, and
Yeah.
those are your 30, 60-second videos, I think, as he works on that. And there's a lot of little templates out there you can use that you can do it in a couple minutes and
Sure. Yeah.
be a
Yeah,
cheap way, easy
absolutely.
way from organic work that you could do.
And I asked these guys about TikTok too, and then the one thing, what was the downside with the ads? Was
The
wrong with it? Because like as far as ads versus organic material.
Yeah, I think it'd be great for organic because
Yeah,
obviously Eric's already
absolutely.
creating the content for him to go ahead and post it on there, start to build a following, because obviously it's a younger demographic on TikTok. That'd be great. But on the ad side, the one thing that holds, I think, Jenna and Two Ladders and us back is the fact that it's just going to cost more, right? Or it's going to take money away from what we're already doing on Facebook and Instagram.
Well, see, that's what I don't want to happen, is I don't want to cannibalize the
Absolutely.
Exactly.
progress that we
When-
all know can be made on the.
We've talked about this with Eric too, I think last week, that we talked about, we're happy to help set up the organic page.
Yeah.
That's no problem. And we can do that this afternoon if we wanted to.
Mhm.
But I would advise that maybe just let's see how our plan with Facebook and Instagram go for this year. And then maybe next year, if we decide to do this again, then we could start adding in new products like TikTok.
Yeah.
But that way we have a baseline of data that we can work off of. And then we have that data to work off of to target through TikTok.
And you already had that page. It has potentially some followers that are already there.
Yep.
We would start that next year. So, and like Jenna's saying, we already have past metrics and know, okay, well, if we add in TikTok, does that actually increase the amount of people that are getting to the website, increase the amount of people filling out contact forms?
Because that's the objective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just see with, like, I know you have pictures of the birds and scenery, that'd be a really easy
I
TikTok.
agree.
Put that on with the template, boom, some
Yeah.
nature music, and you've got it. You're just creative enough, I know you can do it.
Yeah. No, I think
If I
it'd
can
be,
do it, you can.
I think it would be great from the organic side.
We can talk about this afternoon.
There you go.
Okay. Any questions here on the Facebook page access side of things? All right, we'll move on to the next slide or page.
So we're kind of going along that same lines there anyway, Chris, for organic content. So I just want to make this known, and I kind of already did, but Two Ladders is in charge of anything with money behind it, meaning ads.
Mhm.
And Eric will stay in charge of anything that is organically posted to the page. We will, however, like last week, I think we posted one of the new ads that we had ran as an ad.
Mhm.
We were switching out our creative, but we were like, let's just go ahead and post this to the page as an organic. So we will do that from time to time.
Yeah.
I wanted to call out a couple of these organic that Eric has already put out. The very first one kind of went locally viral. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the Buzzard Roost video.
Mhm.
So we created our first reel together. I would say, what was that? Maybe 2 or 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
3 weeks ago, I
Yeah,
think,
got
yeah.
posted on March 20th. I think.
Yep.
Okay.
And so we just did that in one of our weekly meetings. Like we
Mhm.
went through and we were showing Eric how to do that. And I just wanted to make this point known that I feel like our relationship with Eric has grown since the very first conversation in February. And for us at Two Ladders, that's it's a very rewarding feeling. We don't get to have close connections like this as like for all of our clients. A lot of them are in different states and things like that. So it's very rewarding to feel that connection and feel like that we're really teaching and showing Eric how to do new things like these videos.
Mhm.
So that first one there, that Buzzard Roost one went locally viral. We're pretty proud of that one. And then Eric also posted a new one that kind of coincides, and we've talked about this with him, that his objectives that he's posting organically should coincide with what our objectives are for the month with the ads.
Mhm.
So when he posted that first reel of that walkthrough, I forget the name of it, Fielder Family Farm?
Yeah, feel it.
Yeah, so he made that one and it went viral, or was posted as well, and the actual owners of that cabin commented a really nice comment on that post and shared it as well. So just some really great organic content that's going out.
Mhm.
My advice to you all, being board members, is don't be afraid to share that content from your personal pages. The more eyes that are being seen on that, the more, it's just gonna more and more awareness, so.
Yeah, and it's free.
Yeah.
Right, it's free.
And hopefully we'll get more, because Jenna, we're working really, she helped me, she walked me through this video, and then the next one, I was like, help me with this.
I
And
let
she's
him
like,
fly.
you're on your own. And it probably took me like 10 hours, because it's not real it's getting better, but anywho, it's fun, but it is challenging too.
You're doing a
Well,
good
you already
job.
got your third one out just, what was it, yesterday or the day before? So-
Yeah, we're getting there,
Yeah.
so.
So, I think I know the answer to this. I'm a little rusty on it, but, for example, I have the Derby Market page. Derby Market page has, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000
Yeah.
followers. So if I share this video from the Derby Market page, then all 4,000
Absolutely.
of my followers will see that.
Absolutely.
So then the views would go, it's probably much higher than that now, but it's 15,000 views so far or more. And so every time you do that, I'm speaking to the board now, but every time you do that, it's almost like a geometric progression for the number of people
Well,
that
and
see
for
it.
you personally, Barry, that's right next to the Derby Market.
Yeah.
So you could share that post and say, hey,
Stop in and
before you
grab
go
a
on your
pizza.
hike,
Grab
Yeah.
some ice cream.
come grab some ice cream at the Derby Market.
Yeah.
It's beneficial to you too. And, I could see that across multiple businesses
Yeah.
here on the board.
Mhm.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Any questions with organic content? Okay.
Okay. So we worked, a lot of what we did in February was obviously the initial planning and onboarding, but it also was trying to just get a good idea of our next 12 months and what we were going to do for content. And so as of right now, one of our ads is always going to be around lodging, right? Just trying to attract people that are outside of the Perry County area to come and visit and spend money in Perry County and stay in Perry County, right? But there is another objective we have as well. And this is kind of what this ad objectives 12-month plan is talking about. And so each month, the plan is to have a brand new ad around a brand new objective. And so in March, when you guys launched a new website, that was the first objective. So we had a couple ads around that. We had a video ad that Jenna created along with the static ad. Here in April, we have our initial plan was potentially doing something around April adventures or turkey hunting. We stuck with more around the April adventures so far. And it's around, just trying to tell people like, hey, it's spring again. Come to Perry County, get outside. It might be your first time going for a hike so far this year. Like come do like a quick, maybe one day or weekend trip. Now that the weather's finally nice, it's finally turned around. And so that ad has been running throughout February, throughout March, the end of March, and now beginning of April. And you'll see that ad here towards the end of our presentation. We have screenshots of them and like our targeting and why we're targeting that area. So you'll see those in a little bit. But you can just go through the months here and you can see some of the objectives that we have just planned so far. They can change. So if you guys have ideas, feel free to share them. But in May we have fishing on the Ohio. June we have summer activities in Holiday World. And obviously we can go through each of these, but just take a look at them at your own time. Yeah. And again, if you guys have any ideas, feel free to obviously share them with Eric, and Eric and us can obviously work together on potentially putting content around it too. So, absolutely. But I will say that we probably want to just try to focus on one objective a month. We don't want to try to, do 3 different things in the same month, because it won't give us enough time to really run that as an ad then.
One thing I do want to call out here, I mentioned this kind of when we started our presentation about how this is a contract for 12 months. Mm-hmm. I know that your guys' fiscal year restarts in January. So we have mentioned to Eric that, some months like August with Schweitzer Fest and just different events, some months may be heavier than others. And we're willing to, if we wanted to move some of January's budget to August to have a bigger budget for that month, that's something that we're willing to do.
Yeah.
Probably spend more in the fall or late summer and stuff than you would in your colder months, I guess, is conceivable. So
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you still have voting going on in August, September. Actually, it's prime voting time right then. And you got deer season just around the bend up there. You got Schweitzer Fest in August. You got Shoe Little does their deal in October. They have a fall event as well.
In your ads, I noticed that you're sort of doing them in the month of turkey season or deer season. Wouldn't you back that up maybe 30 days or 60 days? If you're, I don't know how far out this reaches, as far as
that's a good point.
But we talked about 200 miles at least. Yeah. Somewhere in that area. And we had, when we went to the boat shows and stuff like that, we sort of got some pretty good information there too as to who's coming down and why are they coming down and where the hell's Perry County. And nobody knew where Perry County was, but they sure knew where Holiday World was and French Lick was. Or there's been people that came down and camped here, and there was hunters that kept back. So we did have that as well. But I know as a deer hunter or as a fisherman or whatever that, you gotta be ahead of the game a little bit.
You got your spot.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. Yeah, so that is a great point, and that, like, for deer hunting, we probably would want to do that in October, or even potentially maybe halfway through September through the halfway point of October. So that is a good point.
Yeah.
So if we have things like hunting, we'll just need to stay vigilant. Maybe make sure that you keep Eric in the loop on that. When we should probably start to run those ads and create them. And we can
I think Eric can help direct you or consult with you on that. Like John just made a good point, just even with Schweitzer Fest, maybe back that up to July.
Yeah.
It's going to be the second week of August typically, so.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yep, good.
Yeah, and that good point, all good points. We just wanted to give you all this one. Like we said, it's subject to change. We're happy and we warrant all conversation through them. But yeah, this is something that, probably I would say 2 weeks before the end of the month, we're talking about this with Eric and making sure that we have our ads in creative, we're getting those together, and anything that we ever post is always sent to Eric before publishing.
Yep. Okay. Moving on into the March ads and marketing strategy. So obviously, I know we've kind of hinted at some of these already, but here's the actual visualization of the ads. So the 2 ads that you see on the left-hand side underneath the visit our new web or our new site, those were our ads basically for the monthly objective highlighting the new website. So one that was farthest to the left, that's a static ad. So there's no movement in it, there's no video. And then the one to the right was actually a video. So you can see that play button there. So obviously I can't show you what it looked like in a 30-second clip on this piece of paper. But it was basically, if you went to the home page of the website, it basically was playing that. So,
And one thing to mention here too, just moving forward with the content, we really diligently studied the new website and the fonts and the graphics and everything that Mary was using. We wanted to ensure that we were using the same content in our new creative so that when someone saw it on Facebook and went to the website, they knew, or they didn't even have to see the page that posted it and they knew that it was coming from Perry County. So we're building that new brand.
Do we have like a stylist guide or a style guide? I know we
built
for the
one.
logo, but like the fonts, I know when when the Pick Perry came out, they had the colors, they had the fonts, they had the different file sizes and types, that was saved as and what you could and couldn't do with it.
When we first asked, Eric sent us the RJL Solutions deck,
Okay.
and then we actually made just one for ourselves.
Yeah.
Happy to share that with you all. If
I
you
just know
like.
like a consistent font you would use.
Yep.
I mean,
So like the new logo colors, Mary used those on the brochure on the website, and then in turn you guys.
I can't think of the font right off the top of my head.
I can't either, but I can get it to you.
that's okay. Yeah. Can you send me the style guide from RJL,
Yeah.
please? I don't.
Okay. So then talking about that new website and those ads, so the target audience around them was really just trying to target people that are around the Perry County area, right? Because we just want to let them know that there is a new website and this is where they should go. And really the reasoning behind that was more or less to, one, let those people that are already interested in the PCCVB know that there's a new website and to get them to start, well, one, recognize there's a new website, but then to start coming back organically so you can get that free traffic, right? The people that are most interested, they're gonna be the ones that are most likely to come there on their own accord. And so really just trying to let them know, hey, there's a new website, check it out. And then once they check it out, they're like, oh yeah, there's some nice, interesting pieces of information here, and they may come back in a month or 2 months.
They may share it.
Yeah, and they may share it, right? So that's really the reasoning behind that. We kept it a much more limited target audience for that ad. But then when you look at the Book Your Stay ad, which is really just trying to get people interested in lodging and coming to Perry County and doing weekend trips or even longer trips, that's where we're using an audience similar to what we had in the past, Steve, where I know we were doing that like 2 to 4-ish hour not commute distance, but driving distance. And so we've expanded it a little bit. We went further into northern Indiana than we were in the past. I think in the past we were kind of limited to the Indy area. We went very close to Fort Wayne, not all the way up to Fort Wayne quite yet. And we went very close to Lafayette as well. But there's definitely room for us expanding that audiences too. Right now, there's about 2 million-ish people in that audience size. So we definitely have enough runway where we're not going to build too much of a frequency with our ads and it starts to get stale with those people. But obviously, there is room for growth. We're not targeting Terre Haute either currently right now. We're right on the edges of it, but not quite in it.
Do you want to talk about just the bigger cities costing a bit more too?
Ye-
And that's why we stayed away.
Yeah, that's part of it. If you guys want to just quickly go to the next page, you can get a little bit of a visualization of that current target market. We can go back to the previous page in just a second, but this might be good to see. So you can kind of visualize what I was talking about there. We're right on the outer edges of Lafayette, right near Fort Wayne. We are targeting the Indianapolis and Louisville markets now. Those were 2 markets we weren't targeting, specifically those cities in the past. But based on some of the feedback we had gotten from Eric, when he's went to some of those shows that he's gone to, he's gotten good feedback from the people in the Indianapolis and Louisville areas. They thought that they would be very likely to come here because they live in a city. They want to get out of the city, right? And so those areas are being targeted now, but we do need to be careful with cities at times, like Jenna was hinting at, just because if we do every city in our entire area, that's where all of our money is going to be spent. And we still want to hit some of those, rural areas that may be in those flat lands around the Indianapolis area.
Well, and I'll say your book, your stay, I don't know if it's called a tagline or what.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the craving a relaxing getaway. I will tell you from experience that I hate to put a number on it, but a large percentage of people that come and rent cabins, they're not coming to hunt. They're not coming. I mean, some are. They're
Yeah.
not, but a big majority of them are coming just to
Get away.
Relax.
B.
Yeah.
chill.
Mhm.
They're just chilling, right?
That's what I have magazine ads I meant to bring in for the Travel Indiana, and that's been the ambiance or the feeling that I've gone for is just come here and relax and
Yeah.
stuff, not hear horns honking and this and that.
Mhm.
And you can go hiking and you
And
can go
not to the
hiking.
exclusion of everything else,
Yeah.
but it's a big part.
Exactly.
Right.
And you'll notice too that I didn't go very far south of our current area. And a lot of that's just due to the fact that as you get further south, there's a lot of activities and places for them to go that are similar already to Perry County.
We talked
right?
about that, yeah, directly, just that,
I would try them just because they've been there to Nashville multiple times in those areas. Maybe they want to try somewhere a bit different. I've been to Nashville.
I like to
20
grab
times.
Cincinnati and Nashville.
I'd grab Bowling Green. Bowling Green, and it's a straight, that's a straight
Bowling
drive.
Green's probably a better ease into it.
Yeah.
Nashville's huge and it's gonna eat a ton of
Yeah.
your budget.
That's what I was afraid of.
And you think of Nashville, right? It's roughly 2-3 hours away from us. How far are they away from, the Smoky Mountains, right?
Yeah.
So you run into, now you're competing with another big area for people to travel to,
We're
whereas.
better than them, I think.
well, and
I'm not saying we are. I'm not saying we are.
I don't know, some of them are pretty cool,
But it's
but still.
cheaper to target those people that are in
That's right.
Indianapolis, right? Not saying people in Nashville won't do that. They will, but we're
Okay.
competing with
See,
other
You're
counties.
limited a little bit by the budget.
Yeah, we gotta remember our budget here.
Yeah. But
Yeah, if we had a
Bowling Green would
limited
be really
budget, I say let's do it. Let's go all around. Let's do the whole.
it seems
target
like
the whole
talking with
country.
cabin owners that, I mean, I know there's people coming from all over, but they are more flatlanders that are coming south for the hills and the relaxation. And then in Kentucky where you do have hills and stuff, and even, I think Louisville, I don't want to call it an untapped market, but I don't think a lot of them, you talk to people in Louisville, they've all been to French Lick. I said, we're just
Mhm.
south of
They
that.
don't know.
They don't know it. And
Yeah.
so
It's a hidden
I
gem.
think it's good that we target them. And if they knew we were here and if they start knowing we're here, but
Yes.
maybe Nashville, I would love to target them, but maybe they're gonna go to the mountains or they're gonna go to Chattanooga.
And think about it. We do have an audience size of 2 million people already, and we're not even doing Fort Wayne. We're not doing Lafayette or Terre Haute. If we added those in, we're probably going to be inching in closer to 2.5 to 3 million. So that's a fairly large audience size. It's healthy for sure.
The people in Kentucky and southern Kentucky, Kentucky Lakes and Nolan Lake and all of those areas have a lot of options.
That's
That's
yeah.
we talked to
lot
in
of
Louisville.
options.
Yeah.
Whereas and I'm not saying we don't target them in
Yeah,
the future,
exactly.
in the future. But what I'm saying and what I see, in our cabin, I mentioned this before, is it's more of the flatlanders that are coming. We get people from Springfield, Illinois and Mattoon, Illinois and Clinton, Indiana and Terre Haute and all the way over in the west side of Evansville, where there's not a lot of population there, but that's where they're coming to. And I guess it's a fine line really, but if they got a lot of options and they're only 30 minutes away, then most probably may go there too. But I think if you're going to try to draw them out of Nashville or Knoxville or those areas, it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
And one thing I do want to mention here, you'll see there's an opening around the Perry County area. That's obviously done on design. And I will say this map is an approximate targeting audience because I had to remake it into a different tool. Meta's tool it's great, but it's very, it's very small and it's not very easy to actually see what you want to see for something like this. And so I do, on the Meta side, have an exclusion of 30 miles around the Perry County area. So we're not targeting the direct area around Perry County. Because again, this ad is just trying to get new people into the county, right?
Exactly.
So
That's exactly right.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Sure. Now, are you gonna be doing website retargeting?
Yes, that is definitely a plan once we build up enough website visitors, which we probably are getting to that point now.
Yeah, I think so too.
So that's definitely something that we want to add into the fold too. With it being a new website, obviously, we needed to get some just users on the website, but yeah, that's definitely something we want to add in.
Explain to me what website retargeting is.
So basically, there's a few different ways you can do it, but the simplest way is once someone clicks on your ad, goes to the website, we can basically retarget those people that have been to the website. Now you can retarget people that have been, spent more time on the website potentially, but the simplest way is just if you made it to the website and you didn't bounce, we could just retarget that.
And we have some of that data that we'll show too, the
Yeah.
Google data.
Okay. And then flip that over. I think this is when we start getting into the analytics itself.
Yep.
Facebook should be first on your,
Yeah.
on your.
And one thing I noticed that I didn't have on here that I should have, and I have for Eric in the digital dashboard, is just a summary of terms. And so, what does an impression mean? What does reach mean? What does a link click mean? And so it might be good for us just to send that
We can get
over.
that.
Yeah.
And another thing to mention too, Eric has 24/7 access to this dashboard, so you can get on and look at the metrics in real time, anytime.
If I have a question at 1 o'clock in the morning, I can.
If you want to. I would ask
You'll
him
answer.
first, Barry.
Okay. So these analytics are going over what has happened on Meta so far, from basically the launch until the end of March. So this doesn't have April analytics in here yet. That's obviously something that we want to go over after April is finished. So in the month of March, we've had 150,000 impressions. And what is an impression? An impression is basically the number of times someone actually has shown an ad, a piece of content. So 153,000 times in the month of March, someone was shown a piece of content from PCCDB, an ad, a piece of content from an ad. And then going on, so then we have Facebook ads reach. And what does reach mean? Reach is just a number of individual people that was shown an ad. So an impression is the number of times a piece of content was shown. Reach is the number of individual people that ad was shown to. So there was 46,000 people, almost 47,000 people that were shown a piece of content in the month of March from the PCCDB. And then we have frequency here, and that's just showing the average number of times that a piece of content was shown to an individual user. So if you take that 153,000 divided by 47,000, you get that 3.27 number. And then we have the number of post reactions on our ads, so 263 post reactions. So that's the number of times someone actually, liked it or loved the, ad that we showed. So, quite a few reactions just from 2 campaigns. We're averaging right at 130 reactions on each, which is, I would say, fairly good, especially with the lodging ads. Those are getting targeted outside of our region, right? And so people reacting to that shows quite a lot of interest in Perry County. And then we have Facebook ads link click-through rate. And that is just basically the percentage of times when someone has shown an ad, how often they actually click on the ad to go to the website. And so about 1.71%. Typically on Facebook, if I see somewhere between a 1 to 2%, that's typically pretty good. And, depending on the industry and what you're showing, it may be higher, it may be lower. But I would say 1.71% is a good start on the Facebook side, especially on the lodging side where we're targeting, again, people outside of the region that may not know about Perry County.
And obviously something that we will continue to monitor
Yeah.
too, and
Yeah.
go over on a monthly basis with Eric.
Yeah, if we run maybe a new piece of content, we see that go from 1.7 down to 1%. That tells us that the piece of content that we put out there is probably a lot less relevant than the previous piece of content.
So, I'm sorry. Steve.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I think the point here is that you're looking for validity, right? You're looking for credibility on your process. So you have to build that data. So obviously you don't have much to compare it to yet because you just started the
Exactly.
campaigns in March. So as you move on to March, April, May, June,
We'll have a good idea.
probably in July, August, you can go back and start making some of those decisions,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, because again, right, we know based on our previous experience in just the general marketing and the recruitment marketing space, what we typically would average on, a link click-through rate. But in the tourism space, it's been a while since we ran ads. So, things may have changed, right? And so, like I said, it's within the reasonable range, but we don't know exactly what we should compare it to,
We're
but we
still
will.
building that baseline.
Exactly like
I
Barry
think
said.
your history once you establish a history, say you're targeting hunting or deer hunting or fishing or boating or whatever you're targeting, and you get a big response from that, that will tell you that you're hitting a hot spot, so to speak.
It'll tell us more about our audience and who
Right.
is seeing these
So
ads. Yeah,
Next year,
absolutely.
the next year, you can double up on that. And then also, I think we don't have a good barometer yet because the Holiday Inn's down, because we're not getting revenue there. But then hopefully we'll see revenue generation in the innkeeper's tax as well.
And
Yeah.
that's something I did want to bring up. I was going to leave it closer to the end, but in the past, Steve, you know that we've kind of always based our metrics off of the innkeeper's tax. Right now, we're just we're just reporting on general ad campaigns and metrics. We're still willing to compare to the innkeeper's tax if that's something that you all would want to do.
I do.
It's not good now until we get everybody up to speed though, Cindy. I mean,
Well, I think it's important to see it because,
we can see it.
Be-
but yeah.
because what if we,
Yep.
how about we do without?
So, are you gonna provide some sort of projected sales numbers where you were last year, or we were last year in May?
In the
And
innkeeper's
then what,
tax.
and then do you have a projected percentage of uptick in the lodging? Can we get that? I mean, I'd like to be able to see, once we run your flight, do your flight, then we should be able to see an uptick with the lodging people. Steve, you represent the lodging people. So, I mean, you talk to these people daily, I assume. They're kind of out in your neck of the woods, always drinking coffee at the market or something. I'm just saying.
I think
Yeah, we
in
would-
order to
you
do
make a
that,
lot of
I would like to
Yeah.
have projected sales numbers, how much you expect that flight to,
Yeah.
how much
and
you
this is
expect
something
that
we
flight
would
to-
normally do with,
With history.
everyone knows that Two Ladders is in the HR market. That's where our bread and butter is.
Mhm.
That is something that we would do for a client like that because we have the metrics to do it.
Mhm.
For this, that we don't have innkeeper's tax information now, we would
And-
just need some sort of reliability to compare that to. Maybe it is just
So I want to
Talking
get a
to
word
the-
in here in a minute, because this comparison for 2026 is going to be a thorn in my side. It's going to be insisted upon. I talked to somebody the last Saturday. This woman her husband was on the phone trying to get a hold of the Holiday Inn for 6 hours.
No, no.
And they wanted to book hotel rooms at the Holiday Inn for an October wedding. They're getting married. Her son's getting married at Matilda's Events Barn. And she wants to book 15 to 20 rooms. And I told her about the Ramada. I told her about cabins and this and that. She had her heart set on the Holiday Inn. That's already after the time that this place is supposed to open. And if you look at, I think I signed some kind of agreement not to share this information, but the amount of innkeeper's tax that the Holiday Inn brings in compared to other ones, I just don't think it's fair. I'd say it on public record that it's fair to continue to insist upon those numbers in 2026 with our biggest innkeeper down. And,
that was the other comment that I was going
I just have
make.
to say that, go on
Well, I
public
didn't
record.
read it.
I'll tell you this too, I mean, when you look at, Steve, I'm kind of going out on a limb here a little bit, but cabins are full now. I mean, this is when cabins are gonna be full, I mean, whether
Yeah.
So they're sold out,
a lot of them are.
really?
I mean, I think it's worth getting the information, make sure you highlight and put a big note why those numbers are. They
Exactly.
Are.
Yeah.
Kind of like we did with COVID,
Well, and
Okay.
that's what we did with COVID, right, Chris? When we ran the ads the last time, that was a big disclaimer in there. We also knew that, some of the Airbnbs didn't report on their innkeeper's tax. So that's another thing that we have to keep in mind that data may not be 100%.
Yeah, and I would say too, we're obviously directing all the traffic to the website, right? For them to go book, they have to leave the website, right? And so we lose tracking once that happens. Would there be a potential for some of the cabins to give us access to tracking? Maybe, but I mean, that gets really funny, I feel like.
No.
And I wouldn't recommend us probably do that.
No, and then that would just be, it would just be a lot, getting the cabin involved,
Yeah.
cabin owners.
But wouldn't it be
involved in that.
interesting though to see that, even with Holiday Inn not open and all the cabins, are booking up, our innkeeper's tax, we expect to go down, but if they're booking up, wouldn't it be neat to see that level out there? Then we know we can go more up here further with what they've done.
See,
It'd be interesting to see.
maybe I'm missing something here, but I don't think we need them to do that because we have the data.
Well,
We get the data every
Yeah.
month, right? We know what the
All that we
innkeeper's
did with
tax
the
is.
data is we put it into
Well-
a dashboard that you guys could compare it.
No, what I'm
That's it.
saying is we get the deposits from the auditor's office, so we know how much innkeeper's tax we got
Right.
coming in. So,
well,
I
that's
mean,
kind of, that's what
I don't know
thought
why
were
we
doing.
need two ladders to do that.
I thought that's
is
what we
all
were
I'm
doing, what you're saying, that's kind of what I meant.
That's what this sheet's all about.
Yeah, that's what I meant, just looking at that and saying, wow, we spun this much of two ladders, and look, our innkeeper's taxes, even with the Holiday Inn down, has only went down, 2%. That's a good sign that they're doing a hell of a good job.
And we would just ask that if you
That's
are
all.
going to do something like that, just to keep us informed, so that we know what we're doing is working.
We can give you a history. I mean, we got it back to 2010. That's what this is a whole from 2010 on.
We used to have access to that.
And,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to bring it up to date. I'll report on it a little bit later, but,
Yeah, that'd
I'm
be great.
almost have it updated.
Yeah, we can definitely add it to the dashboard if you want. I have an old Google sheet that has the data up until probably 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. And then since
Did
we,
you have another question?
oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
I'll save it for later.
Okay.
And then going over, so moving down now, we were on the Facebook ad link click. So this is probably the most important metric, at least on this page. And so this just tells you the number of people that actually clicked on the ad itself to go to the website. So that was a little bit over 2,500 link clicks total in the month. And then if we move over to the right-hand side, the one that's in the dark gray, I kind of want to go over that just quickly here. You can see actually the breakout between the campaigns. So we have the new website ad and then the lodging. It's a little bit small font, but the top one is the new website ad and the bottom one is the lodging. And so you can see actually the breakout of impressions, reach, post reactions, and link clicks between those campaigns. And so you can see the new website ad performed actually a little bit better, or quite a bit better than the lodging ad, at least for this first month. And so that new website ad got 108,000 impressions compared to the lodging getting 44,000.
I will make a note there that video always does
Yeah.
better on Facebook.
That's a great point.
So we had a video ad for our new website, and that kind of shows here in these.
Yeah, and we also had two ads, right? We had that static and video.
Yeah, we
so that also
A/B
helped.
tested that.
Yeah, and then the reach is actually fairly similar, right around 24,000. Post reactions, the website obviously got a ton of those. That makes sense, right? It was that was posted and ran in this general area with people that are already interested in PCCBB. So them seeing that new ad, seeing seeing that it's a new website, they're more likely to engage and make a post reaction on that. And then when you look at the actual link clicks, you can see on the new website ad, we got 1,600. That's actually fairly small. I can barely even read it myself. And then on the lodging, we got over 1,000 link clicks. So that's a good amount for the lodging side, right? Those are people, again, that are outside of our area.
It's in roughly a 2.5 week period.
Yeah, because it's from, well, about three weeks. Because from
Almost 3 weeks.
March 5th to March 31st. Okay. Any questions on that? Actually, I want to move back up just real quick. So I have some additional metrics here that I'll probably take off after this month, but I wanted to add because they're primarily around video. And so we were running a video obviously around the website in March. And so anytime we would run a video, I'd probably have these metrics included. But this month we're not running a video ad, so I probably won't include it next month. But you can just get a general gist on the number of video views we got and how many of those people actually made it through all the way to the end of that video. So, we got about 11,000 video views, in the month of March. And then you can see at 25%, people have viewed actually 25% of that video. It's about 3,500 people made it to that mark. Half of the video, about 1,300, and then about 75% of the way through, about 677. So there's going to be drop-offs, right? They're going to potentially maybe view just what they need to view, and then they may click on that, or they may scroll on, right? That's just naturally how that's going to work.
And we want there to still stay a variety, so we don't want to only do video ads for the page, but we will continue to sprinkle those in with our campaigns moving forward. It's just a video ad takes a lot longer to make and time consuming than a static ad.
Yeah, we thought it was definitely worth it for the website as well.
Absolutely.
Right, the new website. Okay, so we already went over the March targeting map. What did you have a question, Cindy?
It's about billing.
Okay,
Go ahead.
okay.
Google Ads?
Yeah, it should be Google Ads. Google Ads.
Eric, you could be
Oh,
making organic posts on the website, right?
Well, on the
On the website?
Facebook
On the
page.
Facebook.
No, I'm talking on the website too. Are you gonna update those? Not post there, but I mean, update the website.
Well, the plan right now is for the lodging, I'm working on a video that will be kind of like the main page where scrolling video, except it's just lodging and stuff. So that's, hopefully I might shoot some of that today, but it's about halfway done.
Just didn't want the website to become stagnant though. I mean, not totally different here, but.
Mhm. On this side, we're going over the Google Analytics and the Google Ads because we also are running Google search ads. And so those Google search ads, you can see some of those metrics here. Again, we have impressions and we have clicks, very similar, definitions to what we saw on the Meta side. So we had 23,000 impressions on those Google search ads, and then we had 325 clicks on those Google search ads. So again, just a little bit of overview on those Google search ads. That's basically people that are looking up terms that we're targeting on Google, right? That maybe they were like
Cabins near me.
cabins near me or hiking trails in Indiana or, whatever. There's a lot of search terms. If you guys want to hear some of those keywords, more than willing to share those with you guys. I have a lot right now because I'm just trying to, cast a wide net and see which ones are performing the best. I already need to go through and optimize some of them. I was checking on those yesterday and saw that some of those keywords weren't really getting that many clicks. But there are a lot in there, but they're all primarily around tourism, hiking, outdoor recreation, lodging, that kind of stuff. Going back to the metrics here though, you have the Google click-through rate, it's 1.4%, but I think a lot of that's getting driven down by the fact of some of those keywords that aren't performing as well. So once I take those out, we should see that click-through rate go above 2, maybe even 3%. Because I know some of our best performing keywords, they're getting like 6-7% click-through rates. So once we make some optimizations there, you'll see that click-through rate continue to rise. Then we have the Google Ads impressions, and then what that, it's basically abbreviated, but it means absolute top percentage. So that 35%, what that means is that's the amount of times when someone looks up one of our keywords, are we the absolute top ad on that Google search? So when you're searching hiking trails near me, we're ranking 35% of the time in that number one spot. And then that Google Ads impression top percentage is the percentage of time that we're in the top 3. So about 70% of the time we're in that top 3, which is basically those first few ads that you see before, like those organic websites that show up out there. So and that's where you want to be. You want to make sure you're at least in that top 3 the majority of the time, because once they scroll past those first 3, they're basically to the organic stuff and they're not going to really see any ads from that standpoint. Okay. And then we have the Google Analytics metrics. So this is metrics around the website itself. So it took us a little bit of time. You'll notice it wasn't launched on March 5th. And that's just because it took us a little bit of time to get our Google Tag Manager added to the website. But once it was added to the website, you can see that we were able to start tracking those sessions and new users. And so we've had about 2,300 sessions since we got that launched. And then out of those 2,300 sessions, 2,000 of those were brand new users that made this website. Now, again, the website's brand new, so it would make sense that a lot of those sessions are going to be brand new users. But as time goes on, that will be definitely a metric you'll want to keep an eye on. It's like, over time, are we bringing new users to that website? And if we're not, then it may be time to add some new keywords or expand our targeting.
Or like Steve said, maybe that's the indicator of we need to refresh the content on the actual web page.
Yeah.
So just so I understand there, so the Google Ads part on this, that means more like the key search words, right? Like,
Exactly.
and then the analytics part is the website.
Yes.
So we had a link in this. I don't know if everybody knows what that. I thought that was it, but I want everybody else to hear. So then
That's right.
when you look at what's the difference?
Yep. And then below that, you'll see GA4 average session duration. So that just gives you an idea on average when a user gets to the website, how long they're spending on the website. Now that shows 1:16. I'm going to say that's probably a bit inflated because of us and probably Eric and other people spending an absorbent amount of time on the website. We may be spending 30 minutes on the website at a time doing different things. So that's probably getting jumped up a little bit. So if you actually look down a little bit, you can see it's basically like a table, and it has like channels, sessions, bounce rate, average engagement time per session, and then screen page views per session. So this will break it out actually by channel. So you'll see the top 2 channels are going to be obviously coming from us on the ad side. So you can see the paid social and the paid search. And so you can see 1,700-ish sessions came from paid social, 268 came from paid search. You can see the bounce rates are very, very low, less than 1% on the social side, and less than 3% on the search side. Those are very good bounce rates. And then on the average time per session, you got 19 seconds for paid social and 15 seconds on paid search. It may not sound like a lot, but when you think about it, when you go to a website, well, one, I will say the first thing that comes up when you go to the website on the PCCB page, it's actually a contact form submission. That's maybe something we may work with Eric on.
Is it a little
changing.
aggressive?
It might be a little aggressive. You may want to wait until they scroll
I'm
like
tired of licking
50% of the
envelopes,
page.
mailing them.
But that's something we can work on, right?
For sure.
But I would say us getting around 15 to 20 seconds from an ad is fairly good. They're getting to the page. They're probably, right now they're seeing that contact form submission. They're maybe filling it out
Yeah.
or they're clicking X on it and they're actually reading maybe a paragraph or two.
Homepage, because the homepage does have those couple paragraphs on it.
Yeah, so they're probably skimming at least some of that. And it's not like they're just getting there and they're just immediately leaving.
Right.
So they're showing some engagement there. Yep, Barry?
Just real quick, can you redefine or define again bounce rate?
So that's let's say our average engagement time per session was 3 seconds. People were immediately getting to the page and then they were just leaving immediately. That would drive the bounce rate up. It's basically saying like people that are getting to the page, but then they're leaving.
Not
immediately.
interested, I'm getting out of here.
Right.
Yeah,
But then,
like under 3 seconds, I think is the number.
so what this is saying is from our paid social media campaign, the people that are going to that website are spending an average of 1.26 minutes on the website. That's what I'm reading there, right?
Can you say that again, Barry?
He's reading screen page time, so explain the difference between these two.
Okay, yeah, screen. So there's the average engagement time per session. It's cut off, so you can't see the full title there. But that tells you the amount of time people are spending on the page. So that's 19 seconds for paid social, and then 15 for paid search. That screen page views per session, that's showing you how many basically pages on the website they actually go to.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you'll see some channels under here like direct or unassigned. Those are just people that didn't get captured by potentially a UTM code that are getting to the website. They may be organic. They may be from an ad, but probably not. They're most likely organic, but they're just people that are getting untracked. So you can see, obviously, it's nowhere near the amount of people that are coming under paid social or paid search. So the vast majority of people getting to the page, they're tracked. So any questions on any of that? Okay. And then I think lastly, it goes over basically the content that we're running now.
Yep.
So it's the April ads. We have, again, the April adventures, which I know already hinted at. It's basically just trying to highlight Perry County as a destination for the springtime now that the weather's finally turned around and is good again. Come do a day trip or come do a weekend trip. Come hike,
Fishing, it links to, so this ad links to the things to do page. I'm not sure if you all are super familiar with that one yet, but it will go, there's some photos and then you scroll down to the very bottom and it's like the tabs say hiking, hunting, fishing, and a couple other ones that I can't quite recall. But that is where this ad is taking them.
Keep in mind boating too. I mean, I'll just
That's
give you-
another tab.
Yeah, our experience is for about 10 years, we came down every Memorial Day, 4th of July and Labor Day, and there was 5 boaters, and there was most probably were rented 3 or 4 cabins every time. And we had them literally booked every year. I mean, that was our time, so we came down. So if you get the boaters coming in, and especially on the Ohio, they're going to spend the night. They're spending the night somewhere, so they're usually.
You're not driving back up after.
Yeah. So, but keep that in mind too. And that the best boating season really on the Ohio is most probably July and August in the year. So.
And then for the target audience for this one, since it's more around just trying to do more day trips for spring, right? Quick adventures. I still wanted to keep it within reasonable marketing distance. So it's a 50-mile radius, basically from, I think, Tell City is our pinpoint, and it's 50 miles around that. So again, focusing on those real short trips, just trying to get out maybe for a day on a Saturday and come to Perry County, get a hike in, do some shopping in the area, right? So that target audience is a little bit more limited than obviously what we're doing on the lodging side. But obviously that's the reasoning behind it.
And one more quick thing, I don't know that I mentioned this earlier, but the book your stay ads every month. So we showed that schedule that has the 2 objectives for every month. Book your stay will always have majority of the budget.
Yep.
So just wanted to make that clear that because that is our number 1 objective.
And then on the book your stay ad, the target audience reasoning there, exact same as March. It's just that the ad is different. This time we are doing a carousel. So there are 10 featured cabins this month in that carousel.
Yeah, took some
And-
great photos of those.
Yeah.
We use new photos for all of the cabins.
Yep. And so we can't scroll through obviously the carousel here. But if you guys want, we could obviously send you guys a link to that through Eric. But that carousel also, there's 10 cabins today, but the idea is that carousel will change throughout the year. So, hopefully every cabin will get at least a say or, a period of time where they're in that carousel. Okay. Any questions on that?
Perfect. Cindy, I know you had a question about billing.
I do, and it's kind of a housekeeping thing.
Sure.
Now, in the billing, is that gross or net? Are you getting any kind of advertising agency discount from vendors or anything? Or is our billing gross or net? It's gross, I assume,
I
right?
would say it's gross, but
Okay,
I can
gotcha.
confirm.
Got you. I was
Yeah.
just curious. It hit me last night.
Yeah.
and I was-
I can find out for sure.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
Very good.
Any
Any other
questions?
questions?
Awesome.
And if throughout this whole process, we're happy to continue to come to these board meetings. Maybe it's not monthly, maybe it is quarterly that we do a review like this.
I love it. Fabulous idea.
Very nice work. Yeah, I agree. I think certainly quarterly. I think we should do it, if not every other month or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe I
Let's do the
can
marketing committee.
invite a board meeting or board members to the meeting if they ever want to come,
Oh, yeah.
More
we're
than
doing
sit in on
sessions.
one,
Yeah.
just contact me if we're meeting once a week. And
Mhm.
we usually meet, well, I don't know when we were on Tuesday.
Sometimes
Now we're-
Tuesday
That Friday afternoon's been awfully productive for some
Yeah.
reason. You guys are like ready to go. I'm
It's
like,
probably that 12-pack they got sent.
just lots of coffee.
Yeah, it's calling for me back home. Like we gotta get this done, Eric. We gotta go.
All right.
No, but
Yes, you guys are welcome. We hope have Eric at our office at least once a week. So yeah, we're more than welcome to have you guys up there. And yeah, this is a collaboration, and we're excited about this project, and we
Classic.
hope you are too.
Franklin School.
yeah, I do want to
Not
say.
at the Franklin School anymore.
Yeah, we
Oh,
are.
you're
No,
We're not.
we're at
See, I'm
the.
out of the loop. man.
Yeah, we now have an office above the electric department. So if you know where GL or Glenn's Cleaning Services, they're both there.
Oh, yeah.
80s. okay.
So you would be willing to turn to a marketing committee meeting?
We can?
Yeah, I do want to say just quickly, like Eric's been a great help. Like
Yes.
he's gotten us great content throughout all of this. That's made, I think, this time a lot better than the last time. And so I really want to give a lot of credit to Eric because without the content, we wouldn't be able to create the ads. So.
Absolutely.
And it takes a lot, like those cabins, I called a couple cabin owners that own multiple ones, and I said, hey guys, which ones would you like me to feature? And then you go and get pictures and, oh, there's somebody in this, come back a different day.
Yeah.
And but along with that content creation, kind of like what you guys were saying with these ads and everything, we went to that ITA conference, and Hendricks County was kind of giving a presentation, and they're pretty big, Indianapolis County, and just talking about some of this material they put out, and they run it, and then they rerun it again, and it actually like takes off. So as we're building this content, we're also, we're having fire that we're putting,
We're
in the
building
back
a-
burner to use in the future and stuff.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's just a process.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll move along. We got more of our agenda to go, but
Yeah, thank you guys.
great job,
Thank you.
guys. Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Appreciate it.
See you this afternoon.
All right. Thank you, two ladders. Appreciate that. We're going to roll right into the director's update, and probably just it's probably not going to be as specific as it has been in the past because we're through the shows now and through some of the initial launches that we did at the beginning of the year. I will say, to kick this off, that we did hold a marketing committee meeting last week. Cindy and Chris and Eric and myself We held that, I don't know, last week, I can't
Yeah,
remember which day it was.
Tuesday morning,
Last
yeah.
Tuesday. And we went about an hour or so, very productive. We had, basically, we went over some summaries from our current campaigns going on. I think we all agreed that we were headed in the right direction there. And there were some ideas brought up from that. I think Chris had an excellent idea in terms of in the future. Of course, we have our brochure out there, and we can start thinking now about the future and possibly doing 2-page brochures. I don't know, Chris, do you remember?
Yeah, basically our brochures, their brochures are kind of like a summary of the things, but then we could do a trifold brochure or a rack card
That's what
to expand upon cabins or expand upon museums or expand upon hunting, fishing, boating, whichever. And then you would have those on the display. So if Eric's at a show or wherever, there's Perry County, I may grab this summary, but I'm more interested in all the boating. So here's more on boating. And then you've got both those and those are really cheap to do. I mean, and changeable, and
We probably got it in the budget to do it yet this year if we wanted to.
you might learn more what people are interested in when you go to shows. Like, wow, everybody's picking up a lot on boating and fishing, or wow, that's strange, you picked up a lot on museums. Maybe we need to look into more why they're interested in that. It's kind of that in-person thing, and you can, on our website, all that information is there. Anyways, it's basically grabbing it,
Yeah,
put it into a
and then put
brochure
it into, yeah.
or a trifold.
I love the
Yeah,
idea of
we
the cards and everything. Yeah, sorry. No, go for it.
I thought you were done.
No.
So, and we also, at one point in time, talked about doing a brochure for historic churches. There seems to be there's a bus route that will bring in people to Perry County. And I kind of lost track of her, but I can reconnect, I'm sure. So that's something for us to think about too, that don't forget about the historical value of Perry County.
Yeah, or that could be one that's on history, and they've had churches that have
Absolutely.
museums,
And maybe have it in with
Sure.
the museums.
and I don't know if the village has.
We've got several
brochure like that or
Civil
not.
War cemeteries and
Right.
burial sites and
Right.
there's even one Revolutionary War site in Perry County that's pretty cool. But yeah, all those are good ideas, but we discussed those. We also talked about our marketing committee. I don't know that we need to meet every month, but we discussed maybe meeting every other month and just kind of refreshing, getting ideas as to what we can launch.
Some brainstorming.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a
So
good session.
with that, I'll turn it over to Eric and he can go over a couple of things he wanted to go over today.
Yeah, I'll make it brief. I just had some website updates. I met with Mary Bowen Tuesday, March 24th, and we sat down and I had a wish list of things I'd like to do, like an interactive map of hiking trails. So you click on one, has a picture, tells you a detailed description. The National Forest Service obviously has some of that, but then I'd like to incorporate like the awesome river walks, like Veterans Park and stuff, and have that. So we just talked about the wish list and some of the updates we'd be doing, but then she went over how I could change photos or add cabins or do that stuff to the website. And it's not rocket science. It's a little bit tougher than rocket science. No, it's not bad. But she was like, and I'll just say, and nothing against Mary Bowen's other clients, but she was like, hey, you're not too far off. Because I then made some changes to some cabins later in the week. So we're getting there. That's kind of a good feeling that I could do that without having to call Mary every single time, which I just want to give her a shout out and say she's been awesome for making those changes and stuff. We're just making baby steps. So we're getting there. Next on the agenda, moving, been calling some of the retailers and getting a lot of the goods out of the depot as of right now. I talked to a Hawhe's moving service the other day about some of the bigger, I have no problem picking up 50 pounds and stuff, but there's a cabinet, the desk, there's 3 or 4 pieces of furniture that are bigger than I am. And that he just estimated, I gave him the dimensions over the phone, approximately $250 to have those moved up here. So I don't know if I need board approval for that, because I would like to keep it professional just for that, because I've thrown my back.
Well,
out
that's
in the
true.
past.
We just
I will-
passed a
yeah.
motion last week, under $500. You can
I
do
will
it.
vouch. Hawhe's is top notch. They move me, and I was their biggest move, they've always said, and it was a challenge, but they did a really good job. 10 out of 10.
Well, I think my point, what I think I've talked to one or two of the board members, I don't think we need Eric, lugging that stuff around and yeah.
We could move a lot of it. I could move a lot of it, but some of that bigger stuff I would prefer
Okay. All right.
professional.
So we don't really need a motion for that, right?
Okay.
So you're good.
Okay.
Do we know when that office is gonna be clear? Where I walked in there this morning, there's still a lot of stuff in there.
So it's actually like 10 times better than it was. So.
Yeah, it
Maybe
was
not 10
full.
times better. It's a little bit better than it was. It's organized and
There's
there's
an
a,
office out here, right? Okay.
there's a lot of stuff at the depot that I don't know how much will fit or if we'd have to get a storage area or what's gonna go and stuff. That'll be a board, input decision and stuff. I'm obviously not gonna get rid of anything or that approval or, deciding what stays, like some of that shelving and everything. I believe the CVB owns that, but that's obviously not gonna come up here.
Well,
Like shelving, for goods, the glass,
the
Talking about
Display-
CVB,
display
some base
cases,
cases,
yeah.
They donated those
the
last.
CVB owns it, that means the county owns it, and that means if we don't use it, we could probably sell it or further something.
The glass display cases, I know in one of the CVB nonprofit meetings, we voted to leave those at the depot.
So, along these same lines, I think today's Thursday. I think on Tuesday of this week, I provided to Connie Berger a letter giving notice of vacating the depot. Basically, I'll just read it to you. The letter says, this letter is to provide advance notice to the Perry County Commission Recreation and Visitors Promotion Commission's intention to vacate our office at the Tell City Depot by May 8th. This will be approved. This has been approved with the majority vote of the board of directors of said commission. So that notice has been given to the city. So we need to be, or we should be, hopefully in the office by the beginning of May. Okay,
that should be doable.
all right. I also, to wrap up the marking piece, and this is something that I just want to let the board members know, and anybody else that might be listening out there, but Derby is having our annual membership drive tonight. I know it's short notice. And everybody's welcome. They're going to come. We're having a pitch-in dinner, so we'll have dinner there. Doors open at 5 at the community center, and the dinner's at 5:30. We do just an annual thing. Membership to Derby Community Association is $10 a year. I mean, basically we use that money at the end of the year to throw a holiday party. So that's what it's all. It's all about community, camaraderie and that sort of thing.
When is it again?
It's tonight.
Oh. I may not even put that in the minutes.
No, I get it. I
just
get it.
Put that in. I don't know.
But I did, it just kind of hit me today that, man, this would be something that we welcome the public to come to that. And one other thing that we've got going on in Derby, and I can just address this, is very soon, when I say soon, sometime in the next several weeks, we're going to be paving our walking path out there. So we do have the walking path created. It's been excavated. It's going to be 6 feet wide. It's going to be asphalt, and it measures just under a half a mile, and it goes in meanders throughout the entire property out there around Moser Park and the community center and the boat ramp and all that. So that's going on. And we'll maybe even put a post on the website whenever that gets near completion. So with that, anything else on?
No, we had talked about that ITA conference and, we had a pretty good time. It was neat. We had some fun too. We got to go to the, I don't know the official name, but the IndyCar Museum at the track there. And it was really cool. They just spent $60 million on it. And the conference itself was good. I got a little bit of something out of each session, a lot more out of some others. I picked up a lot of good stuff, a lot of good content up there. So, yeah.
Very good. Next item on the agenda, moving along, is community comments. We do have a sign-up sheet here. No one has elected to sign in for this month, but we'll continue to do that each month. All right. And now we get to the financials. And I'll hand it over to Steve.
Okay, just discussed it a little bit this morning. I met with Chris Hammock a couple of days ago, and I was under the impression that we would have the innkeeper's tax come in on the 10th of the month or so, which would be tomorrow, but she said really it doesn't come in until about the 16th, so I won't have a monthly figure this time. I'm working on the innkeeper's tax sheet that we had talked about a little bit earlier. This is all the payments that's made since 2010. We had a little bit of a void in here for a number of months. I met with Chris and she gave me all of the payments that were in 2025. So I'll have 2025 all updated here shortly. And then also I have the first 3 months of this year, and I'll have the 4th month on that. Eric and I are going to come up with a spreadsheet on it. And what I'm going to do, if it's all right with you, I might make copies of just this old sheet and give it to everybody so that you can look at our history through to 2025. We'll start a new sheet with 2025 and 2026, and just keep it going from there. But we still are trying to find the format on the computer, and so far we have not been able to find it. So I think we'll have to start afresh there. So that's what's going on. Everybody should have got their financial information from West Terry. I think it came in last night or yesterday. Just keep in mind when you look at this, John, for example, this is always 1 month behind. So this is February. The reason for that is they can't reconcile everything in March this early in the month. So this is always 1 month behind when you look at this and go from there. I did have an opportunity. I went to German American Bank, and I do have all of the GAB bank statements. Since I started in December, since I got voted in December. And I informed them, since all of this change and everything, they're going to mail me the GAB bank statement. So Eric, that's not going to be coming down to the depot. I mean, in the future, if we want to direct that to come here, that's fine. We can do that. So I want to keep on top of all of that. What else do I have here? Eric, why don't you run over your red card statement real quick and explain a few of those things, and then we'll get into the checks.
I'm going to start at the bottom and then go up because that's
this sheet here that I gave
Yeah.
everybody.
So there's a lot of these USPS, and those are stamps for the brochures that have been getting the requests, and we've had over 100 now, which
Really?
is kind of, So I do them every couple of days. I'll just mail like 10, 15, 20.
Wow.
So that's USPS, $21 and so many cents. Because sometimes I'll go in, I'll put stamps on them, and then I'll have additional letters to put stamps on.
Yep.
Apple for $2.99. That's just my additional storage, so I can shoot awesome videos. $365.04. That's the Hyatt. That was lodging. The reason me and Chris's lodging isn't on there, I paid on Travelocity. Park Plaza, $30. I got away with cheap parking because I just had to walk through the snow real far away. USPS, $24.61. That's that stamps again. Canva. To create the videos, I've got a subscription to Canva, and it's going to be $119.99 for the year, but I'm on just a free version right now for the first 30 days. So
Right.
figure I'd take advantage of that. Postal Service again, B&R Sports, that's these labels that I got put on this shirt, and I have 2 other shirts that are, this is my more formal shirt. It only costs $12. So I just want to brag on that I got a collared button-up shirt.
You mean
$12 discount rack.
Used to be an
So we
sports? Is it A&R?
or A&R, I'm sorry.
Not A&R.
RNA.
RNA.
It says B&R.
Well, I'm like, who is?
I don't know why it says that, but
Robin and
and
How do you do it backwards?
another one with stamps because I bought additional stamps. I realized this thing isn't going away. And then the Verizon bill, I have to apologize, $192.48. When the card got canceled, I thought it was automatically doing the direct deposit for my phone bill, and it wasn't. It was a few months late, and I paid that yesterday. My bad. So it's on automatic payment now. So
Okay.
that's why that's as big as it is. That's my cell phone bill.
we need a motion to approve this.
Yeah, let's get a motion to approve his rent card expenses.
Motion made.
And seconded.
Who made the motion?
I can't make the
I
motion.
know it.
You gotta make the motion.
What? I don't have to.
Well,
I'll make the
somebody
motion.
can.
I'll make
Chris,
the motion.
I'll make. Okay, Cindy.
I
and Linda.
second.
Linda seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Steve's got the floor, see, so I think I've
That's why I was
transferred everything
confused.
over
I'm
to
like,
him.
what?
Oh, I should have made the motion, yes. I just got some bills here. One thing, Eric, I noticed that we didn't have the rent, the $800 rent.
Yeah, I called yesterday to get it and because it might be prorated, she didn't have it ready just yet for April. So,
It wouldn't be pro for
or not
April.
prorated, but
Well,
there was a reason she didn't.
I submit, you talking about for the office?
Yeah.
For the depot.
He
I
just-
thought we were paid until April the 12th, so I assumed that we would pay one more month through May the 12th.
So that's already,
We haven't paid that yet.
I haven't gotten the bill. I
Were we
talked to
paying a
Connie
month
yesterday.
ahead or were we paying a month behind?
I don't know. I don't
You're
pay
the
the bills.
landlord.
I don't pay the bills. I'm not the treasurer. And I'm not the clerk treasurer, so I don't
Well,
get the
and
money.
I don't want to blame Connie. I will contact Connie again today and then see what the deal. I
Well,
know,
we'll pay it next month if that's.
I would probably say you'd be paying, what would you do, what typically, and you'd be paying now would be this month's rent.
Right.
And I
and then-
assumed that it would pay us until May the 12th.
That's what I would agree. I
That's
would agree.
correct.
Mhm.
That should be right.
That's how I understood. Now, if it's different.
maybe it's not ready until the 12th or the 13th or something. But no, we've
always
had
have-
We've
meetings
always
before
We've
that.
always had it, yeah.
So you're just going to have to kick it down the road now till,
Do we want to kick it down or do we want to approve it?
You get, I don't know. I mean, sometimes people approve stuff like that pending.
I suggest approve it.
Just
If we approve it, then I just could fill out the paperwork and then it's done.
so
I'll make a
let's make
motion to approve
a motion.
I'll
to-
second.
Okay.
All in favor?
it.
I abstain.
What do we need? to
I
do?
abstain.
Don't fall asleep over there.
Okay, let me run down these here real quick. We got PSC for $101.47. We got an expense report here from Eric Treader for $127.89. We have a few more going on here. Tri-State Milling, $44.03. The big one is By Chance Graphics. This is for the website. It's for $9,290. And that's, you might want to explain a little bit of that.
That was the amount quoted us for the website design and then also for, I don't know the proper term, but like the yearly upkeep.
Yep.
So that's the
Maintenance.
maintenance, yeah, that's that
For the full year.
for the full year. And that the designing of the website, so I believe the upkeep is around $1,600 a year. So that subtract that from 9,000, whatever. and-
So she's paid in full then for the year?
Yes, correct.
And my question to you is, and I can check it, I'd have to dig it out, but is that within budget?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll entertain a oh, you
I
still
got a few
You
more.
got more.
We got expense checks here. We had these last month for the Indianapolis Boat Show
Mileage.
mileage, or no, the Louisville and Indianapolis
And
Boat Show,
Indianapolis.
both boat shows where we travel. I went to both of them and Eric was at all of them all the time. And last month we used the 70 cents a mile, so we had it corrected to the, whatever it was, 49 cents a mile. So that's why it's a month late. Eric Treader's expense for those two boat shows was $530.18. And mine was for $489.48 for the expense of those both boat shows. So that's all I have as far as expenses. So I need a motion to approve these, or if anybody has any
I have a
questions on.
question. So the By Chance Graphics, is there $16.95 included for website hosting? Is that included in that bill?
I don't know.
I believe is there a sheet attached to
Yes,
that?
it is. I'm
Yeah.
looking for it.
Okay,
You don't know if that included the what?
website hosting,
Website, okay.
which is $16.95.
Yeah, there's annual hosting of $16.95, part of that. Yeah, the new website, complete rebuild was $75.95, and then the hosting was $16.95, coming to $92.90.
Gotcha.
And then, I'm sorry, just one more financial thing. Linda had, and I made that joke about, because I parked at this parking garage that was a little bit far away, but she parked at the hotel and had a bill for that. That I should have taken care of it with the ramp card, but my bad, and it got billed to Linda's card, so.
You
Can
should turn it
you
in.
submit an expense report on it, or can we can just pre-approve this?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, and then I can get the expense
much is
report and
that?
get cut.
$134.34.
So I'll
For two
entertain a
nights.
motion to approve all those expenses.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Fine.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Can I keep this one?
Yeah, that's yours.
I'll give this to you.
Brad, you seconded that, right?
I did.
And then will be mileage for Indianapolis for Eric as well as myself.
You don't
Yeah.
have to fill out expense report.
Yeah, actually, if you wanna come down to the depot and we'll get that all squared away.
Here, I need for you to sign. That's all I have.
I need to sign.
Oh, wait a minute. I do have a few other things. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a couple of those housekeeping things.
I got stuff here I don't know what to do with, to be honest with you. We got a Secura premium notice here. We have to do some research on it. It talks about business protector for $1,084, and it says business auto on here for $294. The total bill's $1,378, so we don't
Well-
have an auto, so I don't know
Well,
where that's all.
that probably goes back to the trailer, but I thought that was removed off the policy when we gave the trailer to the
That's a very good catch there, Chris. That probably is the trailer, and we donated the trailer to the Perry
It's been
County
6 months
Development
ago.
Corporation, and I know that they were contacted to remove that trailer from our policy. And I will tell you that that company has been in flux. I'm talking about the insurance company now.
Secura.
They've been sold twice since our policy renewal came up. So I would recommend that we set that off to the side. We don't pay them a dime until we get that cleared up, because we don't have that trailer anymore.
No, we don't.
Or do we want to just pay it short?
Pay what?
What?
Pay them short?
Well, I want to know what we're paying for.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
We,
Agree.
You know, do we need, is this a liability policy for our organization? Is this, what is it? I
It
mean,
says business protector on here.
I don't know what that is.
that might have, I don't know what business, we might have had some type of, like a renter's policy, when we was renting that office down there,
At the
at the
depot.
depot, yeah.
which we absolutely don't need anymore.
No,
Right.
and then it might have been some insurance maybe on the desk and the computer, I don't know, but it'd be interesting to find out what that is.
Yeah,
Is
we,
there a
what,
local
what,
rep on that?
It says Hub International Midwest.
Yeah.
That's a.
that's the company that purchased Alpha Insurances, who we used to have the policies through. But keep in mind, that was back in the days whenever the CVB carried all kinds of riders for farm to table and other events going on in the town. And that's not our responsibility anymore. So I think what needs to happen, this is my recommendation, is that either myself or somebody on the board, and I don't mind doing it, is sit down with these people and review what our needs are from an insurance perspective, because we're a county organization. Do we even need it? Brad, that might be a question for you. I don't
Might
know.
ask the county attorney, whoever.
But the second thing is, what are we being billed for? Let's get clarification on it before we pay them anything.
Maybe
That's my
I'll go down there one week, go together, so we got two people looking at it, and go, or whoever wants to go.
That's fine. Are you guys okay with that?
Totally.
Okay, moving on then from there.
All right. And then we have a Liberty Mutual bill here, due May 13th for $225. It's some kind of a surety bond. Not even sure what that is
And it
either.
seems to me that we needed a surety bond again for the farm to table. I think
Yeah,
that's what it was for. And again, we're not responsible for that anymore. So
So we'll
that,
take
and Liberty Mutual is from the same insurance company. So we'll cover that with them when we.
How much was that for again?
$225.
$225.
Thank you. You'll look into that, you both will look into that as well?
It's Liberty Mutual, the same insurance as Secure, same people.
It's not the same people, it's the same broker.
Yeah.
Hub represents
Uh,
Liberty Mutual as well as Secure.
And I think.
I know more about insurance than I even want to, man.
I think Home
Don't get me
Mutual
on it. I
also
grew up in it.
reps them.
What's that?
Home Mutual also reps those, Liberty Mutual.
They do. So that may be a Home Mutual one, I'm not sure. Does it say Home Mutual on there anywhere?
Yeah, it says Liberty Mutual.
No,
Home
does it say who your agent is?
This is a local.
Let's see.
We'll clarify. If we need to meet with Home Mutual, we will.
And then we got a certificate of liability insurance here, but it says certificate holders Tell City Depot. So I'm not sure what that's all about.
And the certificate holders that outlined, could you,
That's probably for the event room they mailed it to you guys, or I don't know, let me, if you don't mind, I can take it with me and give
Yeah, it says the Alpine.
I give to Connie, sometimes like a caterer or bartender somebody's having a wedding
you
or an
guys
event
having
down there.
parties then?
Huh?
You guys having?
Oh, every weekend. You guys have parties out there, you didn't know we had them here.
Make sure you get
I
me
bet
your
that's what
text.
this
I
is.
didn't get the memo, yeah.
I bet that's what this is for. It should have went to the city and just, for some reason, it was bounced detail.
That's all I have, Barry.
All right, this has been a pretty full meeting. I think we've got through everything pretty well. If I have no objections, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to
Second
adjourn.
it, second it.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Barry, I need for you to sign these.
Motion carries. Well, there you go, John, your
Yeah.
first meeting.
How much German American?